Good evening. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Lee Fry. I'm Ron's favorite brother-in-law. I can say that because my three brothers are not here. So, easy to be confident about that. So, just to set the table properly, part of our family's history is if you're making fun of someone, it's because you love them. Just so we can get that out of the way, that this is nothing personal. If nobody makes fun of you, then nobody cares. So every year we do a Memorial Day fishing trip. It's quite a bit more than fishing for the many people in the crowd that have been there, but we always do a theme, and it usually takes us, 364 days to work on the next year's theme, but it always hits us in the face on what the actual theme is. So the nexus around this started in our basement over Christmas when Ron walked into me and my brothers at the bar and said, "Hey, have you guys gone mattress shopping lately?" And we looked at him, and one of us said, "He is," and somebody else finished the line with, "the least interesting man in the room." So we've all seen the Dos Equis commercial, the most interesting man. So this year's Memorial Day theme was the least interesting man in the room, surrounded around Ron's pending retirement. So, Ron, if you would come up, we have something for you. So when I say he is, I need you all to say the least man in the room. All right.
Crowd interaction.
Quick study. All right. So we also handed out football jerseys to everyone's regionally appropriate team. So we had a group of Lions people, we had some Patriots, we had way too many Chicago Bears types, and had a player who had a uninteresting career. So we figured tonight would be a good night to do that again for Ron, with all of you. So this uninteresting player, at age 8, he competed in the national punt, kick, and pass competition. As a high school senior, he broke Jeff George's Indiana State passing record. His comparisons to Joe Montana ended with his blonde hair and his jersey number 3 at Notre Dame. Some of you are starting to nod. I know who this is. That's okay. He had an 11-year NFL career with 7 different teams. His record was 24 wins, 44 losses as a starter. He never played in a single playoff game. In 1997, he was traded to the Bears for their first-round draft pick, which Seattle promptly drafted Sean Springs, an All-Pro. The next year, the Bears cut this player. He finished his career in 2004 with a fellow uninteresting team, my beloved Detroit Lions. He currently owns a winery in Napa, California. He is
the least interesting man in the room.
And Ron Helms has a Rick Meyer jersey on. Photo op. Okay, so I also surveyed some of the Memorial Day contingent that could not be here for some of their favorite Ronnie quotes. So why wouldn't we go through those?
Can I have a backup beer?
Okay, and this is the part that may seem offensive, but again, it's all in love. So this is from Pete Lucky, who lives in Buffalo, New York. Loves Ron like the brother he never wanted. And he said to make sure that I did this in a super whiny voice. So Pete said, "Scooty and Babs are out fishing all day and neither of them bothered to check and ice the cooler situation. So I had to do it." He is
the least interesting man in the room.
My brother Jamie said that one of his favorite Ron quotes, because it's pretty much an annual thing: we have a effing 9-hour drive tomorrow all the way to Chicago. These guys will never be ready to go. He is
The least interesting man in the room.
TJ McWilliams. Favorite Ronnie quote: well, T, what do you think? I've got a cooler of Miller Lights packed with ice. What do you think? Straight from the horse's mouth. My younger brother, Joshua Fry. I think we're headed back to the cottage and gonna have a vodka drink. My personal quote from Ron.
Could I get there now?
9 hours away. 9 effing hours. My personal favorite. It's an annual thing. So, Leaf, what you got on the menu this year? And this is going way, way back. So this is a circa 1988 quote from your sister-in-law. I don't know how she worked her way into the quotes, but apparently it was at a Cottage Inn.
Kathy Fry, not Karen
Kathy Fry, yes, not Karen who's here. A Ron Holmes quote: I can't relate to anyone who hasn't played sports. It's like we don't have anything in common.
Did she play?
No, she did not. And she was very confused by the statement as she was preparing for her CPA exam. Another 1987 quote from the Fry family farmhouse. Ron Helms to Kathy Fry: I can never get enough food here. How about you? Kathy, who's not an eater, took the bait and said, me either. I usually bring my own. Ron's response: want me to make some nachos? Flatty, my high school buddy and longtime Memorial Day guy, said, Ronnie quote: hey, what was that name of the ship that sunk in Michigan? The Ella Fitzgerald? And so it goes. Thought there was one more.
Oh, I think that's enough.
So we're all here for Ronnie, and happy to be part of this celebration. Not sure what a Ron Helms retirement's going to look like, but we're all preparing Tomahawk Island and the general Georgian Bay area for Ron being up there an entire month, the month of July. So if you were planning on going up there,
We weren't invited.
be warned that he's planning to spend the entire month up
Kind of
there.
a touchy subject.
So thank you, Ron. Congratulations. Great to be here. And I would love to open up the mic to anybody else who has either a Ron quote or maybe a better impersonation than the one that I did, or whatever. I mean, there is probably a lifetime of stories in this crowd alone. So please feel free to come up and talk, and I will turn it over to Ron Hill.
All right.
Before Ross comes up here and how do you say that? Pontificates for 45 minutes. I would just like to thank everyone for coming. I really enjoyed the friendships and relationships. Shout out to my Mac crew, and God bless America.
I knew there was one more thing. So, everybody's welcome to help themselves to Least Interesting Man cups. They are souvenirs. They're more of the white than the red. The white makes Ron look drunk and sunburned, versus the white is a little more representative. Let's call it. But Nate will be passing out some Least Interesting Man cups for anyone who is interested in that. And now we're going to clear the floor for Ross Trumper.
You know, Ron worked for a lot of people, and he worked with me. He didn't work for me, he worked with me. And Tim is here, and I have the two best assistant principals. They weren't assistants, they were other principals. And it was great. But Ronnie was special. We're not going to add education behind that, but he was special. He's the only guy that I can think of that in a meeting would get so animated that he would fall over backwards in his chair at the conference table, and his feet are flailing away above the conference table and next to me, and we're looking at him going, well, it's just Ron. It's okay. It was not anything, you know, out of the norm. You know, come to his office, he'd be there 10 minutes behind me, maybe 10 minutes earlier. That's really early in the morning. And he would read me the newspaper every flipping morning. It's Alex's fault, you know, Husky football. But I will tell you that, you know, everybody knows Ron as a jovial, funny guy, like of which he is. But I will tell you, that having Ron and Tim stuck with us, and he went to the dark side of district office. But we had a hoot working together. You cannot imagine how special it was to have a best friend be your coworker. He was the great. I'm not going into all the other funny stuff, but somebody has to acknowledge a true educator and who built Naperville North High School over a long time, and that's that man over there. So congratulations, Ron. Oh, yeah, Dan.
I've been Ron's secretary for 16 years. I was considered his admin assistant, but I thought we were always a team. From day one, Ross, Chris, and I all knew that it was all about Ronnie. We all had t-shirts with all about Ron on the back. We had balls and chains on our ankles that said all about Ron with Ron's picture on them. But I will have to say, not now. I will have to say though, of my three bosses at North, Ron was the best. I knew every day when we came in, things were going to be done right. It was all about the kids. It wasn't about Ron, what his office looked like. Matter of fact, when Ross retired, he came to me and he said, you have to order him new furniture because his desk was in so bad shape that it had duct tape across the stomach part, and every day he went home with a gray line. But with Ron, it was always about the kids. He was always fair, honest, and the district is going to miss him a lot. And I'm glad I live right down the street because I can still see him.
Like you always do.
Quinn! Ron's in the house. I laugh because Ross tells a story of Ron like throwing his arms around, yelling, which I've seen from time to time. But my first meeting with Ron Helms was this. Little drool coming down the corner of his mouth. And I like to look over. Everyone else is like working hard.
Just so you know, I'm going to mess up your schedule when I get back.
Come on, Ron. We all know we all rewrite our schedules.
Okay, Jay.
Thanks for sharing.
All right, I got a little something to say. We know, some of you here realize, perhaps or not, that we've got 5 or 6 people here that have known Ron since college. And those days were very, very special days. You know, college is a crazy time, and Ron's a crazy guy, so some of that stuff you could just imagine, kind of things that happen. I won't say too much about it, but to give you a perfect example, maybe many of you guys know or don't know that Ron was a terrific athlete. He was a wrestler. I roomed with Ron when he weighed 170 pounds. It was a while ago, and he had to get really sick to get there, but he got there. And but I will tell you the one story that I remember most. We were happened to be having a couple afternoon beverages, and Ron was saying that you know what, I really shouldn't have any more beer because I have practice this afternoon for wrestling, and you know, it's going to be a tough practice. We're getting ready for the divisionals or whatever tournament you had coming up. So we having a couple more, and I see Ron gets up, and he rolls down the window to one of the hall dorms, and he looks out, and he sees a guy that's going to wrestling practice. And he says, "Hey, Tony, tell Coach I ain't going to make it." So, great guy, great fun, great memories. Thanks, Ronnie.
Somebody get ready to pull the plug.
Well, I'm going to sit down.
No, turn on.
I'm going to sit down because I just had knee replacement surgery, and some guys talking about wrestling. So I'm going to tell you, first time I met Ronnie, I'm an equal guy, so get your booze out of the way. Our sons played football together. What year was that? It was a long time ago. Anyway, Alex played football with my son. That's how I met Ronnie, and they needed a defensive back coach, and I was there, and it was a pretty good year. I recall, I ended up undefeated, going down to Florida, won runner-up in the national championship. So I just want to say, you know, Ronnie, I'm happy to be here for you today. I've had a rough road getting here. I know you have too. I'm happy for you, for your friends here today. I think it's really important to him. It's good that you have your family here today, you know, and I mean, that's important, and I think that's something I wanted to acknowledge. But before I get into some of the other stories.
Who needs a beer?
Ronnie, we had a Naperville North thing going with you know, a rivalry. So the kids played after we went down to Florida together, the 8th graders, when they were 8th graders, and then they played against each other in high school, Eagle Valley, Naperville North. Well, we decided that after each game, we would have a banquet with those same kids and those same families. The Barretts are here, and win or lose, we'd have a banquet after that. Well, the first time freshman year, we had the banquet the same night of the game. Bad fucking idea. Excuse my French. So we the kids kind of got along, but we decided to do a sophomore year the day after. So Ronnie leaves his hat, Naperville North hat, at my house. So back to the story. Whose dog is that? So Ronnie leaves his hat, his Naperville North hat, you know, navy blue with the orange husky paw on it, right? He calls me the next day. He goes, "Hey Billy, I think I left my hat at your house last night. Did you find it?" And I had already found it, but I said, "No, I haven't seen it. I'll look for it though." So a couple of weeks goes by. He goes, "You find my hat yet?" oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot. I'll look for it. So Will comes home from college, and I told him the story, and I said, hey, Ronnie wants his hat back. I go, here, here's my camera. I want you to take a picture of me. And I take my pants down and my underwear down, and he's like, whoa. I go, easy, it'll be funny. So I turn around, I'm standing in my hot tub, okay? And I wedged that Naperville North hat in between the cheeks of my ass. And I took a couple of pictures of it. And then I brought his hat back to him. And I let him wear it for like a month. And then I sent him pictures of where I found the hat. That's a true fucking story. Ronnie, I love you, buddy.
The funniest was that dog taking a shit. He just stepped in it. I don't know. It came from over there.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea.